This is About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills, author, speaker, and entrepreneur. Sit back and enjoy.
Greetings, fam. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, check it out, right? Check it out. When you are in business, a big part of business is the relationships that you develop with people. And this goes beyond customer service. Way beyond customer service. Because you're not just dealing with customers, but you're dealing with other business people or sometimes even other businesses. Right? Because, and I'm known for talking about relationships. Like man-woman relationships. But that's not the only type you got to deal with out here. You got to deal with that relationship with a customer. If you're in business, you got to deal with a relationship with a customer. But then you also have to deal with a relationship with another vendor. See, here's the issue. Regardless of what you do, whether you provide a service or whether you provide products, you got to deal with other folks. You have a good relationship with them. I'll use the example of vending, right? Now, I love that, but one of the things I do when I vend, I be networking. I be talking to people. If nothing else, when I vend, you going to have some times you need to go take a break, go get something to eat, walk around a bit. Whenever I set up, I develop at least, I introduce myself and talk to whoever set up near me. Because you might need them to watch your stuff. And anybody who's listening, who's getting it, who's in vending, you have like a little camaraderie there. And I would suggest, I'm gonna do a separate video on vending too. Again, I think I have. I'm not sure. I'm having some senior moments sometime. But I'm gonna definitely, I'm gonna definitely do something on vending if I haven't already. But one of the things is that you have to deal with other people. You have to be able to establish relationships with them, right? And just for business in general, regardless, because look, here's the issue. Even if you providing a service, right? Say you're providing a massage service, you still might have to deal with. You still got to meet clients and all of that stuff. But then you might be one of those massage therapists who work out of a gym or some type of place. You got to develop, you still kind of in business for yourself because when I dealt with them when I was working in gyms, often they were really independent contractors. So you have to, if you provide any service, you got to deal with somebody, or say you're a detailer or something like that. You might have to deal with working out somebody's parking lot or something like that. And I've actually seen that. People actually offering like car wash service, detailing services and stuff in an apartment building. But for them to do that, they probably had to deal with the management. So you still got to do a lot of stuff business to business. And for people really familiar with business, they'll tell you, a lot of times your business could even be dealing with another business, not even dealing with the public in general. If you look at car companies, right? Car manufacturers, they do a lot of business. They do a lot of business with vendors who supply them with different parts and stuff. Like somebody who might make brakes or something. They don't do it themselves. So it's like you got to be able to have a relationship with another business person. Like publishing, like right now publishing. I deal with, to publish my books, I deal with Amazon because of their print on demand program. So, I got a somewhat, it's not a personal relationship with them, but back in the day when I was using like more mainstream, well, I shouldn't say mainstream, but people who are printing the books, printing hard covers and stuff, you had to have a relationship with the printer. because of like the printer I had, the printer will point out if the printer like was going through it, found any errors, mistakes, or something like that. They let you know first. It'd be like, oh, okay, you want me to go with this run? I saw this, that, and a third, and I'll be like, oh, okay, let me handle that, right? And plus, you never know when you might have to work with them or something like that. Or when I had my book stand, I'm dealing with distributors. And there were a couple times I had to work with them on some stuff just because of some shortfalls in money I had. It was like, all right, well, what can we do here? What can we do? But you have to have a relationship. Or another example is when I was getting books in stores. Well, I'm developing a relationship with bookstore owners. And I was able to bypass a lot because I had personal relationships with the owners to the point I could bypass like their process, because usually if you get in most stores, no matter whether it's books or any type of product, a lot of times you got to go through some corporate shit, or you got to fill out paperwork. There were times I was able to get products in stores, books in stores and stuff, just from talking with the owner and establishing a relationship. And they'll say, hey, you know what? They wouldn't have like some formal thing, fill out, might fill out some purchase order or something for records, but usually it was just like, hey, Ron, I need some books. Okay, I got you, dude. And much business is taken care of that way. For example, there's always a big hoo-ha about, I would say, blacks getting into country clubs and stuff. But the real hoo-ha was not playing golf or anything like that. The real hoo-ha was a lot of business was taken care of. Like, I remember when I was working in a gym, and I remember I had this dude, and he's pretty affluent. He was in financial services. I mean, dude was interesting. Dude was a boxer and could bench press about 400 pounds. But one time he was just in a locker room doing business with this other dude. He pretty much stayed there a long time. He didn't even get his workout in, but he got some business done. But that was a relationship, and you got to think about it. It's not about, you got to think about how you deal with people, because a lot of stuff gets done if you have a relationship with that business person you got to deal with. Like, when this video comes out, I'll be going to this festival. Now, just because of the relationship I have with the organizer of the festival, I could have set up a table. And she'll probably ask me, how come you didn't set up a table? I got you. I got you, Ron. But that's because of a relationship, and I could probably hit her up anytime for anything. If I need a hookup or anything like that. Now, when I say a hookup, she ain't giving me anything for free. I got to pay something, but she'll accommodate whatever I need, right? But that's because of a relationship. Like, when you in business, yeah, you have your, you got your men or women that you're dealing with romantically, and you got your buddies. But then when you're dealing with other business people, like sometimes I'll get business cards, get their stuff, and I might not even have any need for them at that moment, but I'll hold on to the card because I never know, Like my new introduction on the videos. That was a business transaction, pretty quick business transaction. And this is a young man I'll probably use for future projects. But it's because of the relationship, right? That's very important. You want to develop those business relationships. And one thing about the business relationships, and just on a basic thing just to remember, when it's business, keep it business. Keep it business. If it's a business, if it's a female or a male, somebody of the opposite sex, and they are attractive to you, make a decision right there whether you want it business or you want it romantic, but don't have it both. If it's business, keep it business. Because trust me, I know some very attractive women, but they in business. I'm like, I can't mess with them. It's a business thing. But you want to develop those relationships, okay? That's very important when you get out there, because, if you really look at business, a lot of it's really social. It's really a social thing. Like, somebody might support your business just because they like you as a person, or a business, if you a supplier or something may cut you a break on something. Like you might say you get supplies and stuff, and maybe you short. They might say, all right, you know what, I'm gonna spot you this. You just hook me up later. That's still a business thing because they still want their damn money. So you never know. That relationship with other business people are very important. So it's something that you really want to cultivate. And that's when, like I said, I'll meet business people. Sometimes I'll get a card and I don't have any immediate use for it, but I'll still hold on to the card because you never know. And that's happened to me plenty of times. More times than I can count. It's like I'll get a card, might not need anything from the person, but then a year later, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Some project come up or somebody needs something. I'll say, oh, wait a minute, I know somebody who does this. So, boom, you never know. So, anyway, right, that's it for today. Let's go make that money.